Welcome back. Today we're going deep into one of the most legendary bulldozers to ever command respect on the job site, the Komatsu D355A. If you've ever stood next to one of these machines, you know it doesn't just sit there, quietly it practically radiates strength and intimidation. It's the kind of machine that makes you pause, stare, and realize that some equipment was built to do more than just move dirt. This is a dozer built to dominate landscapes, to carve through earth, and to show why Komatsu is one of the top names in heavy machinery worldwide. And in today's video, we'll explore its exterior, interior, performance, history, and even its price, while keeping you hooked with the reasons why this beast has gone down in bulldozer history as an absolute legend. The exterior of the Komatsu D355A is nothing short of breathtaking. The sheer size alone leaves most people in awe. Because this is not some small dozer meant for light projects, it's a heavy-duty workhorse that weighs over 70 tons depending on the configuration. The blade up front is enormous, built to shift staggering amounts of material in a single push. And when you see it tilting or cutting through layers of earth, it's like watching a giant scoop up the land itself. Every inch of its reinforced frame screams durability. The cab sits tall, perched like a command tower above the tracks, giving operators not just visibility, but authority over their worksite. Those heavy hydraulic arms are like steel muscles, raising and angling the blade with force that makes you appreciate the engineering behind it. The tracks are wide, thick, and unstoppable. They crush through mud, gravel, rock, and clay, distributing weight evenly so this massive machine doesn't sink or stall where others might fail. Even the little details on the exterior stand out. The grille up front isn't just a design choice, it's an air intake feeding the hungry diesel engine underneath. The tall exhaust stacks puffing out diesel smoke give the machine that iconic heavy equipment presence, like a warning sign that raw power is in motion. Mounted lights make sure the job doesn't stop when the sun goes down, turning the night shift into just another opportunity for this beast to keep pushing. What's amazing is how these machines, some of them built decades ago, are still running today with the right maintenance. That's a true testament to Komatsu's engineering. Owners repaint them, refurbish them, and bring them back to life. Because even after 30 or 40 years, the D355A still has more to give. Step inside the cab, and you'll see another side of the D355A. For many operators, climbing up into that cab feels like stepping into a cockpit of raw mechanical control. The seat is positioned high, giving a commanding view of that massive blade and the ground ahead. The levers, pedals, and controls are rugged but intuitive, set up so that an experienced operator can make this massive machine dance with precision. The older models were outfitted with analog gauges that track everything from engine temperature to hydraulic pressure, giving the operator all the information needed to keep this powerhouse running smoothly. These gauges may look simple compared to modern touchscreen displays, but they're durable, easy to read, and built to withstand the vibration and stress of constant use. Inside, comfort wasn't ignored either. Komatsu knew that operators spend long hours in these machines, so the cab was designed to keep dust, noise, and weather outside as much as possible. Some configurations offered air conditioning, which was a game changer for those working in scorching climates. The cab windows are large, giving excellent visibility not only of the blade, but also of the surrounding terrain and any workers nearby. Safety and precision matter when you're operating something this massive, and the D355A's interior design reflects that. Everything is built tough, from the seat suspension to the lever grips, ensuring that it doesn't just last, but keeps the operator in control during grueling shifts. Of course, the real magic of the Komatsu D355A is what happens when you fire up that engine. Under the hood sits a massive diesel powerhouse, generating over 400 horsepower in many versions. Now, horsepower numbers on paper don't always tell the story, but in this case, it's about how that power is delivered. This isn't high-rev, racing horsepower, it's low-end torque, steady and relentless, designed to push, pull, and drag massive loads without faltering. That's what makes the D355A legendary. You can feel the rumble through the ground as it moves forward. The tracks clawing into the earth. The blade cutting into the soil with unstoppable force. The transmission was built to handle abuse. It delivers smooth gear changes, even when the Dozer is under heavy load, which matters when you're pushing thousands of pounds uphill or across uneven terrain. And speaking of terrain, those wide tracks make sure this Dozer can handle it all. Mud, gravel, sand, clay, it doesn't matter. The D355A just keeps pushing, its weight spread evenly so it doesn't sink. The hydraulics give the operator incredible precision, letting them tilt, lift, and angle the blade in ways that allow for both brute force and delicate control. Watching an experienced operator run a D355A is like watching a master craftsman at work. One minute it's toppling a wall of rock, and the next it's shaving the earth smooth like butter dot. Now, let's add some perspective by comparing it to Caterpillar. Komatsu and Caterpillar have always been in competition, especially in the bulldozer category. Caterpillar's D9 and D10 dozers often go head-to-head with machines like the D355A, where Caterpillar focused on refinement and brand dominance. Komatsu focused on raw toughness and reliability. Operators often say the D355A feels heavier and more planted, like it's digging into the earth with every ounce of its weight. Caterpillar machines might offer slightly more modern operator comfort during the same era, but the Komatsu earned a reputation for taking more punishment and coming back for more. It's no wonder that even decades later, enthusiasts debate which machine ruled the job sites back in the day. The history of the Komatsu D355A is just as fascinating as its performance. It was introduced in the 1970s, during a period when construction and mining projects were booming worldwide. Japan's Komatsu wanted to prove it could compete with Caterpillar on the global stage, and the D355A was its answer. It quickly gained a reputation as a dozer that could handle the toughest jobs, from building highways through mountains to clearing massive mining sites. Over time, the D355A became a symbol of Komatsu's rise in the heavy equipment industry, showing the world that Caterpillar wasn't the only name worth respecting. Durability is another key reason this dozer became iconic. These machines were built so well that many of them are still working today. Even with tens of thousands of hours on the meter, a D355A with good maintenance can keep going, outlasting machines that were supposedly more modern. That's why you'll often see old footage of these dozers at work, restored models on YouTube channels, and operators sharing nostalgic stories about their time behind the levers. There's something about a machine that refuses to quit that resonates with people, and the D355A has that spirit in spades. Now let's talk about price. Because this machine wasn't cheap when it was new, and it still commands respect on the used market. Back in its heyday, purchasing a brand new Komatsu D355A was a massive investment, often running into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. For construction companies, it wasn't just a purchase, it was a commitment to decades of work and productivity. Today, you can still find them for sale on the used market. Prices vary widely depending on condition, hours, and whether they've been refurbished. Some beat-up units might go for under $100,000, while carefully restored models can fetch far more. And for collectors, it isn't just about the price, it's about owning a piece of history. A machine that defined an era of heavy equipment. The D355A has also become something of a social media star. Videos of these dozers in action, whether pushing enormous loads or being restored to their former glory, rack up millions of views. People love to watch these machines because they represent raw, unfiltered power. There's a certain satisfaction in watching thousands of pounds of earth being shifted like it's nothing. And the D355A provides that kind of visual spectacle every time it moves. That's why it's not just operators who love this machine. Enthusiasts, and even casual viewers who can't resist stopping to watch it in action. At the end of the day, the Komatsu D355A isn't just another bulldozer. It's a legend. It's a reminder of what happens when engineers build something with the singular goal of making it tough enough to handle anything. It's a machine that earned its stripes on job sites all over the world. proving that Komatsu could stand tall against Caterpillar and anyone else. It's a machine that still inspires awe decades later. And it's a machine that deserves to be remembered, not just as a piece of equipment, but as a piece of history. So if you ever come across one of these giants in person, take a moment to appreciate it. Look at those tracks, that blade, that towering cab, and realize you're looking at more than steel and hydraulics. You're looking at a legend that has shaped landscapes, built cities, and left its mark on the heavy equipment world. And if you've ever operated one, you know the feeling of gripping those levers, feeling that rumble, and knowing you're in control of a machine that can reshape the earth itself. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Komatsu D355A, make sure to like this video, drop a comment below about your favorite bulldozer map.